back.
That hero feels so bad.
Doesn't it?
Her eggs is below mediocre.
Also, Shadow Demon's terrible right now, too. Shadow
Yeah,
Demon's also
SD
unpicked.
was on the verge of coming back in. Previous patch, they were talking about it just before DAC. We said maybe it was one of those sleepy heroes that might just start getting picked up, and several players have been talking about it in glowing terms as in, yeah, this is actually viable in certain situations. It disappeared completely.
Talents are pretty terrible.
Here's some of the worst
The
talents.
worst talents, yeah. 6 strength, 10 or something. It's like, and then you get like
You get
like 6%.
75 cast range or something?
Yeah,
It's like one
that's
of the lowest cast ranges. I'm not sure.
The cast range, like 5% spell amp on a hero that doesn't really benefit from
I think
a
he
lot.
legitimately has a 10 move speed talent.
I think
I'm not
you're
sure.
right.
I think it's like
6
strength or 10
movement speed. Yeah,
and
yeah,
you look at it, you're like, what am I doing with my life?
which I mean,
10
which one's
movement
even
speed.
better, right? Like 10 is so little.
I mean, I take the move speed, but I wouldn't feel happy about it.
Okay, we are, as you can see, in the draft for game number 2. We have Monkey King ban again. Faceless decide to get rid of it, and the tree as well. And
They're not banning CM?
yeah, is that because they think they might get it because OG don't necessarily prioritize it?
I mean, Faceless at first pick, though.
This is the first pick.
They do.
I feel like
So it's
these
the first
bans
pick
on
then?
Ice Ice Ice, like,
Do it again?
They do get rid of Timber again?
they're just, he has these 3 heroes he's incredibly strong as, Abaddon, Timbersaw, and Nyx. And he's going to get one of them. So unless OG pick up the Nyx here, maybe they're predicting the CM, and Nyx is one of the better heroes against CM. They could take it themselves. That might be a decent idea. I haven't seen them play Nyx as much, but to be honest, it should be a hero that's good for them. I could see them running some Nyx Evoker this game.
Oh, Faceless looks really happy. Right away, they're like, nice, we got Crystal Maiden
Crystal
again.
Maiden. I mean,
Oh,
as far as support heroes go, Crystal Maiden is one of the best ones against Naga Siren, simply because you have the aura which allows you to play extremely fast early game, and then in the mid game you have a lot of mana to spam out these illusions.
Yeah.
well, I think this tells, if you didn't already know what OG was favouring, I think we definitely know now. That was an instant two-hero lock-in.
Don't forget that they still have the team fight, though, with the Disruptor. It's one of the better setups, maybe not as good as Black Hole, but it is a little bit faster paced than the Enigma, which I think you need versus the Crystal Maiden. You need a hero that doesn't need Midas plus one more item before things start happening.
I think it's also like the Disruptor kind of they're like maybe afraid of the Slark from the last game. I think that might be a little bit of an indicator. They're like, all right, we're just picking the Disruptor in the first 2 right now. If you want to pick Slark into it, you can, but it can be kind of painful versus a Disruptor.
Naga's a great hero with Disruptor, not just because of the team fight that Ben mentioned, but Naga's a hero that gives a lot of vision that you can use for glimpse. And Disruptor is generally a hero that's seen as a bit weak in lane, but Naga's a hero that can sort of absorb pressure. Naga doesn't care that much if the enemy's aggro on them or putting a lot of pressure, because you can always defend that tower, you always have these illusions to sort of tank for you and get last hits.
The thing is, though, I think that Faceless, if you're preparing versus OG, you prepare against Alk, Naga, and Arc Warden, I'd probably say.
Terrorblade? Terrorblade?
Terrorblade too, but I think they're like all somewhat similar with some variations. But the thing is, if you first pick Naga, you can be like, okay, we have a strategy prepared for this. Let's go ahead and go with it. It's not like something that they have to think about too much in the draft or something that's terribly unexpected.
So maybe like OG could have picked like their illusion hero in the second phase, because none of them are banned.
Exactly,
and
just
then
like
you
last
just
game.
have that much more impact. Something about Nyx versus Naga is that Nyx used to be pretty bad versus Naga. Just because of how Naga lanes out, you were able to protect these Nyx ganks. But there's the change to Radiance, which was supposed to nerf it for Naga, made Nyx a lot better against her, because what happens now is you can carapace the illusions, and then when you go next to the real one, it will also, the Radiance will change you and you carapace that one as well.
Yeah.
So not only do you stun Naga for 5 seconds, but you can instantly tell which one's real. It's a pretty nice perk of that matchup.
So who do we think will play the Naga this time around? They've had 3 different players on it.
On Naga?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Who's played it?
No.
Wrong
Of course
team.
they haven't. Wrong team.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking,
problem.
I see the Naga and think Liquid.
It's
just how it
yeah,
happens
that
in my
happens.
head.
That is
Yeah.
very true.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a no-tail Naga.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
People always discuss the best Naga. Personally, I think GH has the best mechanics on the hero, but no-tail is by far the best at bringing that hero into team fights and using the hero to set up his team for good fights.
It's like the same as the Alk, right?
Yeah.
They play it really similar.
To be honest, in my opinion, that's the most important part of Naga. Like, if you were to ask me who's the best Naga overall, I'd probably say no-tail right now.
I like the Enigma ban by Faceless. It's
Yeah,
just like a staple OG.
I don't think you want to play versus that.
Yeah, no way. The sleep combo.
One weakness of Naga that sometimes comes out is that you don't have enough to deal with a BKB unit. You have this Naga, your split pushing Radiance, but Naga lineups often lack physical damage with her. And Enigma, she's not physical damage, but he is a lot of damage through BKB with the Midnight Pulse and Black Hole.
So they ban out the AM and the Alk, so they're trying to get themselves like a big advantage toward late game. Jabs likes to play the Alchemist. Black loves his anti-mage. Those two are pretty hard. Well, like they pair well against the Naga Siren.
I think the Legion Commander is a good ban. It's a hero that OG run a lot with Naga. They use it to collapse on his lane. They open up the map. I feel like a broken record saying this, but I just to me that is in essence what OG is.
Yeah.
They'll open up the map, they'll get picks, push out lanes of Naga, kill you, make you miserable.
All the things you like doing.
I like it when I do them.
Yeah.
It's not cool when they do it.
Right.
So OG, what?
Puck, maybe? I don't know. I think they need an offlaner that can actually start off the fight for them. They don't have the Enigma anymore. They don't like Clock because they want to take it a little bit later. Batrider not particularly good versus Nick, so I think his options are very limited, especially with the LC being banned out.
I think last time they ran Naga, they had the Puck, and the other game they had the Axe. So I think they're thinking in similar lines. They want something a bit more low cooldown that they can play a bit faster paced game with.
They've played with Centaur in the past too, but that hero has kind of like immensely fallen off.
Yeah, I think it's not. I think Centaur's a bit weaker versus Nyx as well.
Yeah.
I think Axe could be interesting because he's a hero that you can't match up the Nyx as well 1v1 versus him. And when you get that offline matchup, it makes it a bit harder to play. That being said, I feel like Faceless has played this Nyx as support before. I think with CM.
I do think, yeah.
I mean,
I do think they have.
It's confusing for me because they also had the game where they had like the Nyx, the Abaddon support with the CM and the Nyx offlane. But yeah, we saw a debate by OG in the last game. Maybe we'll see one by Faceless this game.
The Pudge.
Ooh. Can you still hook Naga sleep units?
Nope.
Can't hook Invulnerable anymore.
That's sad.
Yeah.
But balanced.
Probably.
Or you could Berserker's Call Yule's units.
Oh, that was
so ridiculous.
Broken.
Yeah.
Yeah, we abused that at DAC 2015. Great tournament. Great bug. Feels good, man.
I feel like this is something that they're using to try to like alleviate more pressure off the Naga too. Nyx, you can get run down pretty easily if you're just getting rotted and ran out in the laning phase. I think that's what they're trying to secure. Faceless kind of I kind of felt like they were going to do this just because of how much impact these two heroes had in the laning phase. We keep talking about it. Faceless loves to dominate the lanes. Who better than that than CM Ogre?
I think it's always nice to pick Ogre when you see the enemy's two supports. I think in this game in particular, even if Pudge is rotting him and Disruptor's hitting him, he might kill the Pudge before he dies. Like just the Ogre. So when that happens, you can really tell that no matter wherever Ogre decides to go, whichever lane he decides needs a good head start, he'll be able to go there and have a high impact. Also, I feel like the Ogre did a really good job at mid last game, you know? OG put Batrider and OD there. We saw some cool synergy with the Sticky and the OD Aura, but it didn't matter. The Morphling still ended up killing the Batrider, and Morphling had a great game that game.
I'd like to OG grab like a DK or something, like one of those type of heroes that bring stuff together. Oh, they do go for the Centaur.
Yeah,
interesting.
That's a good call.
Gives them some more team fight, gives them lockdown. They just like this kind of combo as well.
Something else that can be said for Centaur is if CM is alone in lane versus him with a carry, if you skill up the return aura, you can be pretty decent at laning versus her. You have the PMS, CM has like 41 base damage or something. You just stand there and let CM hurt herself.
I really like that you say that because I think that's probably what they're trying to go for, that type of approach. They're like, okay, how do we... This last game we had an Enigma who can't really just stay in the lane the whole time. He stayed there for a bit, but at one point he has to go to the jungle just because of the fear factor. This time now, he's going to try to keep the supports down there because that, I feel like, was the big dominant factor for Faceless the last time. Just the liberty of the two supports being able to move out of that safe lane.
And I think it's a twofold factor because when you keep a CM in lane, she's not using her frostbites on neutral creeps. I think she got to do a lot of that versus Enigma. And we saw the high level CM, the high level aura contributing a lot to her team. And if you have the Ogre there, obviously you can your other lanes feel way better because that hero is very strong at early levels.
I also think he's a good pipe carrier. Like, their lineup does not have that much physical damage.
That's a good point.
Very good point.
Prior
Yeah.
to that, too.
So the Morphling versus the Naga, I feel like that's kind of the same thing as last time, matching up a Morph versus like Alchemist, Morph versus Naga, kind of same concept.
Again, though, they do have something to kill the Replica.
They
Like
do,
the
yeah.
Disruptor
The
Glimpse.
glimpse.
So that is nice for them. It's a pretty good Morphling game, though, to be honest. Disruptor is good versus him, but they have the Siamora. Look, Siamora makes Morphling a different hero. It really does. Like, if you can get this quick E-Blade BKB in this game, I feel like he has the potential to carry this game very hard. And just Tinker banned out from OG. I guess the hero that they have in mind for mid lane cannot, like, that hero can't win his lane against a Tinker. And they need that hero to win the lane in this game, I feel, because Center's not a particularly fast hero. Naga won't really make any rotations. And the supports, while they can rotate, they do lack some things that the mid hero being strong will help them with.
I don't know why the DK keeps coming to mind for me for OG, but I'm just trying to think of something that they like to play that isn't going to get so hindered by the Nyx if he does go for the rotations. And they want to make have something that gives space and is a building hitter. They have no real objective taker just yet.
That's a good point. DK could be very good for them. I think with DK, you generally want to see the enemies mid, which OG has the potential to do. So if Faceless picks something and they think they can put the DK mid, I think it's a good pick. Hood DK does not die this game.
Ooh, they see the OD though. That might put some fear. They might go back for something like a TA or something. They really do like picking that because it's kind of like the same concept, the hero that can kind of like get involved more early and have a good laning phase at least, especially.
Remember
Not
last
worry
time
so much.
Faceless played CM Ogre or versus TA, though?
That is true.
Yeah, that's rough.
No, they do.
All right, they do it anyways.
Now they have an objective taker. They have a Roche taker. I feel like it's just like the one thing that they had left for them that can make the space for the Naga
I think
Siren. But
most importantly, they'll have a lot of space, a lot of vision on the map. They need something that'll single target burst.
Physical
in order
burst.
to yeah, physical burst,
Yeah.
exactly. That will use the vision, and they can use that to their advantage.
Okay, let's get some predictions, shall we? As we go around the table, we'll start with Melini.
I'm going with Faceless for real this time.
Okay, why?
I just think they're riding a high right now. Yep.
okay. I'm also going to go with...
He's not giving you any help there at all.
No, it's okay. It's fine. I'm also going to go with Faceless. I think that I just really like the way that they played with the CM Ogre. I think that it's going to work well. I think they can make the same type of rotations as the last game.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I didn't think I'd be betting on the Faceless 2-0, but I am. I'm going with Faceless. I think OG's lineup is a bit slow, and it's hard to play those types of lineup versus a team with CM Aura. I think Faceless demonstrated that they're very effective at abusing that CM Aura. I expect them to play a high-paced game again this game.
Okay. Thank you very much. All of our gentlemen on the panel have gone with Faceless. Perhaps a little bit surprising after we saw OG come into this as one of the favourites to lift the entire thing. They are on the back foot right now. They need to win this one to stay in the Kiev Major, or can Faceless make their first semi-final? Let's find out as we head back to our commentary team for game number 2.
As many people have pointed out, it seems like OG have gotten themselves stuck in a pattern. They constantly have the Southeast Asian teams as some sort of sticking point. They've been eliminated from a major Valve tournament twice now by a Southeast Asian team, and this could be the third one, as they are just one game away from being eliminated once again and going out in the bottom, like not being able to make it to the top 4 would be a huge blow to OG.
Yeah, definitely one of the expected teams to do really well. After the group stage, they had some issues, but this game looks better at least than Game 1. Game 1 was a lot of what OG wanted, but it didn't fit together well. This game, at least, I feel like they have lots of team fight control, not necessarily active control, more like we decide where to fight. If it's going bad, we're going to song. If you're going to run away, we're going to glimpse you back. And they're also going to have Stampede to chase or escape. So I feel like OG has a lot better tools to protect the one guy that needs a lot of farm this game, and that's mostly Naga Siren. Obviously some T in there as well, but I feel like they'll better be able to do what they want to do at all stages of the game with this lineup.
And I kind of want to get a jump ahead on this storyline because I know people are going to go to it. Once again, OG are going for another Radiance hero. right? Another Radiance Illusion hero. They tried it in the first game, didn't work out with the Alchemist. That was the storyline from DAC as well, and they failed to actually close out that game against IG. They couldn't close out that final series. So do you think they're going to have a similar problem here? Because it did seem like Faceless had a very strict game plan to be able to deal with that Alchemist. Do you think we're going to see a similar game plan here in this game too?
Yeah, I mean, Faceless seems to have almost exactly the same draft, really. They've got Morphling, they've got Crystal Maiden, they've got Ogre. They have the same accelerants, they have the same map pressure, they have the same laning advantage, but the difference is that I just feel like OG's lineup can do so much more this game. They can pressure aggressively. I think Pudge could really pay off here. It looks like they're actually going for an aggro try, and this has been predicted. The Nyx Assassin is going to be in the safe lane here. Faceless is know what to expect, and that'll be up against Centaur versus Morphling right now. And possibly, yeah, it'll be a 2v1 eventually, but it will start 1v1. So I think this is overall pretty good for both teams. Both Centaur and Nyx are definitely good if they get some levels, but I would say this maybe favors Nyx more, because the faster he gets to 6 here, that's going to change a lot of this early game. He's going to try to kill all the illusions here, but that actually could cause a lot of trouble for Ice. He's going to lose a lot of HP right now.
And mid lane, we do have a slight advantage to Faceless as well, with XY currently standing as the bodyguard to Jabs' OD. Obviously, that Ignite, very good versus the Refraction. Bottom lane, Ice does burn down a little bit low on the Nyx Assassin. Looks like he should be fine, though. The Pudge, a great roaming forward position, but can't really he can't really offset the power of what the Ogre does. Top lane looks like they are going to have a go here on the Black, and he's actually going to die. They're just going to slow him down enough. He can't morph strength for too much longer. So first blood for S4. Now the Centaur, like especially if you get Shrink Boots and that sort of thing, like he can actually play this lane very double-edge heavy against the Morphling and force him out of that max agility that the Morphling's usually so comfortable in 1v1s.
Yeah, such a great time to get a gank off. Morphling pre-waveform is really the best window for OG, considering that they don't have a lot of disable. They've got lots of damage, and Glimpse will be very effective sometimes, but a big first blood to start off the game, and Morphling's practically off lane right now. Just the pressure of Jarex being there is going to make him just play a lot safer. He didn't even go for the last hits on that last wave. He didn't even guarantee the level 2 because he's just so afraid that Jarex would show up again.
He finally does pick up the level 2, and it should feel a little bit more safe. But even then, right, if Pudge loops around, he slows you down, you're forced to waveform, you could still be got by the hook, right? It's a simple straight line. So this is definitely going to be a lane that at some point in time, our Morphling is going to need the assistance of Nuts. Nuts has picked up his level 2, cleared out that off-lane jungle, and will now join his carry.
And in the meantime, No-Tail just still playing the off-lane Naga Siren. It's actually semi-viable in a 1v1 situation as long as the supports don't rotate over. But the hero they want to pressure is Pudge, actually.
Oh, they've almost got him, but they just kept the vision. Nice play from Jarex. He's going to be able to catch Nuts here, but can he actually chase out this kill? A lot of tower shots onto Nuts there. He will manage to... Oh, no. He got hit by that Thunderstrike and is going to end up going down now. XY is going to be cornered up by S4. He did have the double damage. It's now faded and won't be able to get the damage to get a counter kill. Jarex does manage to hit the hook, cleans up that kill. 0-3 now. OG off to a much better start, it seems, for this laning phase in Game 2.
Man, that hook changed the whole early game because it got so many tower hits off on the Crystal Maiden. She's got boots, but tower hits and the follow-up from the rest of the allies making a big difference. Perfect decision-making as well for S4 to go for the follow-up kill, not necessarily the guaranteed one. And OG off to an amazing start in the early game. Black does get all the range creeps to his tower, though. That would have been a huge advantage for OG. Either way, I don't think they can complain too much considering how things are going.
Absolutely not. Naga Siren kind of free farming. The only one who's really been pressured has been Anna's Templar Assassin, and you still have some comeback mechanisms to be able to fall back on, like being able to play off of Ancients and that sort of thing.
He's not even that far behind anyways. Yeah. Maybe he will be soon, though.
Yeah, we are going to need the help. The assistance of Jarex's Pudge. He's trying to line up for a hook right now, but they're kind of body blocking Anna out. Jarex doesn't have a clear shot, so instead he's going to be forced to hit XY, but bringing him into the tower doesn't do much to the tanky Ogre. Nice rebuttal there from Faceless, managing to pick up that mid kill on Anna. Even if they are not faring the best in their side lanes, at least they're still winning mid.
Yeah, this is a really nice gank, and once again, Nuts is there at the perfect time to land his combo. Did a great job as well walking to the right, trying to avoid getting hooked under tower. He feared the hook after that last one. We'll see if it affects his play, but OG's going to be happy.
Oh, just a little bit shy there from Jarex. Mid lane, Jabs. Seems a little bit damage there from the Thunderstrike, but again, XY always in the neighborhood, and He's a force to be reckoned with. Nobody really wants to challenge Faceless while he's around.
Oh, this is that Disruptor set. That's really cool. Forgot about this one.
Oh, he's got the samurai hat.
That's in like super rare or something. That's awesome. I just want to talk about cosmetics. I'll cast you down. No?
No,
Okay.
I'm not a cosmetics guy, unfortunately, Kevin. I only
That's
care
fine.
about
That's
my
fine.
looks outside of the game.
Oh, okay. All right, makes sense. All right, Naga Siren picking up 5 in the off lane. It's almost time for him to leave, I think. It's that like 5 to 7 minute period. We're like, oh, we start an aggro try, but at some point you have to fear the ganks and the reasons that off lane usually is a bit dangerous. But fast arcane boots for him, that basically means his farm acceleration will be there. But Fly's going to rotate to the bot lane. S4 TPing in, going to start the first rotation. And they're actually holding a skill point on No-Tail. Maybe they're hoping to do like an ensnare into a stun or hook into Centaur Stomp. Centaur's still 5 mana short, and the creeps definitely reveal S4 here. So, yeah, they're just going to play normal with this one. Naga rotating this safely? No.
This early Vanguard build from the Centaur is kind of interesting. He's got the queued up for the Vitality booster.
I actually like it a lot. There are a lot of right clicks needed from Faceless, both Ogre and CM. They have great nuke damage, but their right clicks are definitely a large part about that as well. Maybe not CM's, but you know, if you get a Vanguard block early in the game, that's like 100% of a right click. 70 damage is huge in the early game. So if he's got these levels and it helps him basically go wherever he wants to, I think it'll make a big impact.
Do you think it's more valuable than the Hood of Defiance? Which would be the normal, you know, other tanky item for a Centaur to pick up?
You know, I think this game Vanguard is definitely the safer move. Obviously, there's a lot of magic ammo. No-Tail might be in trouble here.
No-Tail slowed down. They are going to be able to get the waveform in front of him. Kind of body blocking him with the Thunder Show. Oh, nice hook there from the side. And Jarex is going to be able to save the life of No-Tail here. Black is dropping kind of low, but it looks like they're still going to pursue out Jarex, try and at least get something off this one. And it looks like, no, it's denied too. Oh, Jarex is doing so much. You know, I was asking you, I was like, Pudge, do you really think that's worth it? But it does seem like the combination of having a 4 position that roams and being able to operate as a saving hero is working out very nicely for OG.
Yeah, everybody has been so heavily favoring things like Monkey King, but Pudge is a very abusable. Meat Hook is one of the most OP abilities, considering it's like 2 ranges of Force Staff. If it puts your opponent out of position, gets them under tower, that's a lot of damage you'd never get out of a Monkey King.
Looking at that net worth chart, it's looking pretty for the OG members. They've got their top 3 cores in the top 4. The OD is in there, and Nyx Assassin's not too far behind that top 4 area, but it's that Morphling that's really suffering.
Yeah, he's sitting about the same farm as the Pudge. That's not a good sign. He's still been playing a sort of offlane role, which may mean that it's very heavily on jabs here to have a good early game.
Kinetic field, but the waveform's there to get the extra damage. Maybe XY can chase him down. Just needs more right clicks, and they got it from Nuts.
And did his best there to stay alive. They do get the jab skill in the mid lane.
That is huge. Anna needed something like that to be able to come back into this game. Nice rotation.
So to finish the Vanguard thought, Hood is great this game. There's a lot of magic damage, but a Vanguard at this point in the game is an extra 250 HP, and in some ways you could say the health is equivalent to magic resistance. So, and plus it also blocks right-click physical attack. So I feel like they're kind of comparable. Obviously Hood's going to scale better as Centaur's HP increases massively, but because he got this so early and he's got so many levels, I think you can just buy this. It covers you against all situations, and you can just bully your lane.
If he wants to, he can always get the Hood of Defiance a little bit later. I'm presuming his second choice is still going to be the Blink Dagger. I doubt he'll deviate that much.
Yeah, probably. With 2 more tangos in the Vanguard, he's going to hit full HP pretty soon. And level 7 on him is a lot of damage threat, actually. If anybody ends up getting caught here. Ice TPing to the Shrine, going for an invis gank to the top lane now.
But, oh, never mind. That's actually Faces' vision. They do have a sentry here, so Fly's going to be able to spot him out, but he does get his combination out, so maybe the Morphling can finish up. Again, the waveform and the right click does manage to secure a kill on a support. So, Ice. The beginning of his notorious off-lane rotations have just begun.
The downside of not having a stun. That's like that would never happen otherwise.
Yeah, poor Disruptor.
OG now pressuring the offlane tower, just Jarex and Pudge here, but that's a really potent duo. They could threaten a lot of heroes right now. Another thing really going for OG this game is the OD banish. Astral's obviously a great skill, but there's a lot of situations where it's just going to give you an easy hook or a defensive one as well. But they're going to TP to go in on this. They want to pressure the Centaur.
Looks like Faceless may have read the timing on this one. S4 does have his ultimate, but Ice is able to hit the stun there. Nice hook back there from Jerix. Getting more control. Now popping the ultimate. They're actually going to run over Nuts. Look for more. S4 gets stunned up by the Ogre, but they will at least claim the life of the Crystal Maiden. Ice slowed down. Now Anna's here as well. Another great hook from Jerix. He is on point here. XY pulled back by Fly. A third kill picked up by OG. This is not going to be the one-sided stomp we saw in game number 1.
Oh, it might be just the other way around, perhaps. I mean, great ability to pressure there. So S4 still hasn't picked up a point in return, and it's really paying off, actually. The extra hoof stomp stun duration, the extra damage from that is making the difference. And even Glimpse looks so powerful with a centaur on your team like that if he's got enough time to get the cooldown off again. And he doesn't even need a blink dagger. That's what it feels like right now, but he's still making the initiations happen just by being tanky.
It looks like they're going to be able to create a lot of space for both Anna right now. He could use a little bit of space to farm up his first item, which he's currently got queued up, his Blink Dagger, but especially No Tail. No Tail could use this extra time to complete that Radiance. So I'm presuming we're going to see OG continue to be quite aggressive with at least this trio, and you can see them currently trying to set up for a pickoff on Ice, but he snapped. They do manage to get the spike, Carapace, turnaround stun. Jerix is going to get popped by that one. Nice play from Ice, but it looks like he may still be giving up his life. Maybe not. TP in from Jabs is going to be able to catch the Centaur. Good send back there from Fly. Does save the life of Ice as he claims a kill.
Yeah, but S4 as well. The glimpse is absolutely important.
Oh, Jerix actually knows where Jabs win, I think.
Oh, he sees him, yeah.
So he sees him now. Hooks. No, that's way off the mark. It's okay, Jerix. You landed a lot of them.
Slightly wrong estimation. He also popped the tome before he did move to the bot lane, and he was just a fraction away from 6. A bit unfortunate he didn't have slightly more experience. Maybe would have killed Ice then. The OD even rotated all the way to the top lane there just to try to set up the kill on No Tail with an Invis rune, but after TPing bottom and getting Glimpse back, that actually wasted a lot of that guy's time. He does still have Midas, though, so he'll be all right.
I see Black, and he's farming up, but he's still kind of suffering in the net worth, and with the pressure that's heading down bottom lane, Ice is actually having some issues as well. A little bit surprised he's not moving around a bit more with this Nyx Assassin, but I guess with the combination of pressure and as well as him wanting to be able to build into that Hand of Midas, his ganks are actually going to come to his lane, it looks like. Jabs looking for the imprisonment to set up the stun. S4 hides himself in the trees very nicely, and Jabs does not want to go for the melee contest.
Yeah, they doubt they have enough damage. They get a hook on the mid lane. Nuts goes down.
That was a very dead Crystal Maiden. Anna actually picks up the double damage for his bottle. That's a big pickup. Maybe threatened an early tower. Imprisonment pushes out the wave.
I just feel like Faceless doesn't have enough damage output is the main issue. I mean, they could have maybe gone for the Centaur in the trees, but when he just gets defensive like that, he's playing with all of his tools. He's got a 10-stick. He's got a Quelling Blade, so he can juke into trees and get stomps off. It's just very difficult for Faceless to guarantee those kills. And Black would probably love to go to the safe lane and get farm, but the time that he was going to rotate to the safe lane, it was already in a dangerous position. And the Pudge just puts so much pressure on the safe lane. You don't have to dive the tower. You can just get the right hook off and guarantee a carry kill.
We're seeing, as a reaction, Black is going to be picking up a Lincoln Sphere.
It's a good choice.
To be kind of be able to deal with the Glimpse, right?
I'm thinking of Pudge Dismember as well.
Yeah.
If he does get hooked, at least he guarantees he gets a waveform off.
But it does mean no BKB is going to be picked up by the Morphling anytime soon, so he's still going to be very susceptible to the Kinetic Field Static Storm.
Yeah.
And that'll be the other really big team fight ability that OG can play off of, especially since they have the Naga Siren Sleep to set it all up.
Yeah, that's a really good point, actually. We haven't seen that in a while, but it's super terrifying. And it'll just, for 1 second, if you get a little too close to one another, they're going to get that AoE team fight off, and that's something they were using very well at DAC. It's just Naga into Black Hole. Static Storm is, in some ways, very similar.
They are really maintaining this kind of split from Faceless once again. It seems like they have this idea that, mid, they're going to be able to reveal that Blink Dagger from Anna. He's still at that double damage, too, so Jabs gets blown up pretty quickly. They do manage to get Jerix at least, but it's going to be a 2 for...
I really like what S4 did there. He instantly gets his Blink Dagger, TPs the mid lane. He didn't go in on the Ogre, the guy that was going to die. He waited to see if there was a little backup, and he almost caught Black. If Black moved an inch closer, stayed half a second longer, that could have been a follow-up kill with a Static Storm. That would have been a huge play there for OG. Either way, still getting 2 kills is really good for them right now.
Yeah, rapid presence of OG into the mid lane not only catches kill, but also takes that mid tower. And Anna running around like some hero out of an anime. It's heading towards bottom lane. Ice is going to be in some trouble here. Anna.
Oh, he gets a hook.
There it is. The hook. The spike carapace buys him a little bit of time. Doesn't have the stun quite yet. And does have the turnaround potentially. Nuts. He needs to be able to stop Anna, but he doesn't have the mana to do so. Nuts now hides himself in the trees, hoping to be able to get out. Kinetic field. Not quite catching Anna. That means Nuts is going to be found inside the trees. And should be a simple pop. Anna blinking forward, immediately wanted to take that safe lane tower.
Yeah, Jerks just wanted to help him get to the tower a little faster there. Worked out pretty nice.
And this has gone from Anna suffering in his timing to getting that early blink dagger to now have the blink and closing in on Deso pretty fast.
He's got 8 kills. Is that true? Am I clicked on the right hero? That's 8 kills. Is that really happening?
Well
Yeah,
done,
that's
Anna.
confirmed. 8 Templar Assassin kills at the 15-minute mark.
That's kind of insane. And that's a lot of it due to OG's setting him up. Like, he had a bad laning phase. There's not so much that TA can do by himself. OG's rotation's been very on point. Jarek's in particular has just created a monster of an early game for OG.
And I think maybe this is part of what OG was doing here in their draft. Let Faceless get the same kind of supports. Ones that are very good at lane pressure, good at ganking, but then all they have to do is pick really tanky cores, hard to kill cores. And all of a sudden the Ogre and the CM feel really mediocre. Like,
Look at him. He's actually going Solar Crest up next on the Centaur.
okay. He does need armor. Tranquils doesn't give you armor anymore, and he's pretty good at damage blocking, so Solar Crest would give him evasion. It'd make OD kind of bad against him, especially once he gets the evasion part up, but same principle. Bloodlust makes you right-click faster, grab armor. It's kind of the same thing. Counters the attack speed a bit.
And we could see a very fast Roshan from that as well. The TA on that team already, it's pretty easy for them to do it. Get a medallion.
Ice looking for a possible kill on S4, but he gets out no problem. And yeah, they're just controlling the map so well right now. They'd love to take the last tier 1 tower top, and they've got a ward for it. They're just looking for Faceless heroes. They get a kill, they'll try to take a tower right after.
All this aggressive vision in the left-hand side of the map here from OG doesn't quite net them a kill, as Faceless are going to be playing more in their own jungle. But if they do that, it means OG are free to take Roshan, especially with that fresh Deso on Anna.
It's really good timing here. And it's going to be really tough for Faceless to take a fight into this. If things go a little bit iffy, they cast Song. If it gets really bad, cast Stampede and Initiate. Almost no matter what they do to initiate, it's going to be good. Jarek spots him out.
He's going to be able to clip jabs there. He's going to be forced to imprison himself, but S4 managed to hold on to his stun. They're going to be able to get him. Oh, so much damage coming out from Anna right now. He's still holding on to a double damage rune. What is that hyphen fade? I feel like I've seen him for the last 4 minutes having DDs.
That's all he's got, I guess. DDs every day. Holds him for the right time and helps him take Roche faster. I also love that Jarek's looking for the next move. A lot of really good supports will do this. Oh, we have this Roche. There's no way they can defend this. I'm going to look for the next kill. So he moves a little bit far out and instantly gets a spot that allows S4 to force out the defensive Astral. It's a really nice move that helps set even more tempo here. So Black is desperately trying to get his first item. Still doesn't have the ultimate or part of the Lincolns. And that just looks so bad for Faceless right now. So a Morphling playing from that far behind doesn't seem like it's going to be very useful. He's like 1,200 gold behind Centaur, for God's sake.
Boy, I'm looking at this Nyx Assassin and thinking, like, this is not the same kind of offlaner. Last game we had this Batten, right, who kind of sits in lane, always pressures the enemy carry. This time around, we have a very aggressive ganking offlaner that hasn't managed to pick up too many kills. Did pick up the Hand of Midas, so he'll at least still stay somewhat relevant. Mid. XY drops kind of low. And not able to pursue. Thinking about it, he's got to position himself for the blink if he wants to. He's actually going to go for Nuts on the high ground. Has an Aegis to work with, so he's playing pretty fearlessly at this point.
Yeah, he is. So it's kind of a reverse of what we saw last game. Ice plays Abaddon, sits in the lane, gets some stuff done. As for this game, very hard to kill, sits in the lane, gets stuff done. And then it swaps around the other way. Nyx Assassin's got to move around the map, get kills, but he can't really stay in his lane forever because he has to worry about things like Pudge and TA and other setup heroes. So Faceless is forced to go on the aggressive, and they had a bit of a weaker lane start, which means that Morphling can't even get that active early. He's got to force himself to get farm and catch up a little bit. So I feel like OG has a huge drafting advantage here, not to mention the fact that Radiance is ready to go. 20 minutes in, and now they got to deal with that. They will have replicate at least. So they're going to be able to steal some illusions and radiances of their own, but the pressure begins and the towers are very likely going to take a lot of damage soon.
Black may be the victim of an OG rotation soon if he's not careful. I've been feeling like OG with this Radiance, they'd love to actually start forcing some real team fights. Ice, ice, ice. He's sitting, waiting, lurking, hoping. Courier slides on by, but maybe he can still catch it. Oh, no.
It's just a little too fast. And his ulti runs out. They saw him there, so I doubt the Courier will get sniped on the way back. I don't know if they care, though. They do kill a replicate as well. That's huge. That's going to ensure that Templar Assassin's refraction doesn't get broken.
And they're also going to be farming up the enemy jungle as well. You can see the Naga Siren already spreading out those illusions. So if Black wants to be able to farm, he has to like go into the enemy jungle or show himself deep up there in the top lane. If he does that, then OG feel very comfortable taking objectives. Nice snag there on the jabs. Jarek's just solo killed an OD, it looks like. And let's
got him.
Oh, barely. The rot snags him just at the tail end there from that force staff.
That's some powerful funk, man. You're in a different dimension, but the smell still goes through. Guarantees
you
the kill.
can't get away.
Yeah, it sticks on you, you know? It goes with you. It's like you're getting one elevator that somebody smoked in. It's with you the whole day. Same thing.
Ice, ice, ice. He really wants to find this Naga Siren pickoff, but he's going to be found instead. Stunned up, takes a majority of the damage. The Static Storm making sure there's no opportunity for a Spike Carapace and No Tail. Sorry, actually, Fly was the one who picked up that kill. I thought No Tail snagged it, but looks like the Static Storm was just a bit too much. Maybe Ana can actually grab a little bit more here. 2 down on the side of Faceless. He knows he finds anybody. Pretty much guaranteed dead. Fortunately, Nuts did manage to TP out. Looks like they have some very defensive vision on the left-hand side. They had a ward, counter, and ward combination that saw Ana.
Definitely a very good place to have it, since this is like the key area for Pudge to stand. He can hook mid lane, he can hook top lane. He'll be moving there often. But the key to the team fights in the ganks is basically just Nyx Assassin. If they kill him, who's going to set up the fights? It's not going to be CM, it's not going to be Ogre. They don't have a reliable initiation. And XY might get 3-shot here, although Ana's got to be careful.
Ana being held in place. They do have the hook, but he's actually going to throw it out onto Jabs, knowing that Ana has the Aegis. They really want to fight this one out, but Nuts does manage to finish off that Aegis with his freezing field. The Blink Dagger is going to be up for Ana, but he actually hit him with the waveform, so he doesn't manage to blink himself away. What a huge stun, though. The Centaur controls up the fight. Now they get their turnaround. They're going to be able to blow up the Morphling as he's rooted in, gets him with the ensnare. Turnaround from Ice Ice Ice, manages to catch the Centaur, but there is the extra hold. No Tails making sure that nobody from Faceless escapes alive.
And they all go down there. Triple kill for Ana for you Compendium predictors, and huge team fight there. S4 absolutely changed the scope of that team fight. It looked really good for Faces, catching Ana, preventing his blink after he respawned. But when you stun 3 heroes, whole fights, that's over. That's a Ravage right there. And you only have to wait 13 seconds for the next one.
Especially when Ana is already hitting so hard, you give him just enough to disable. He starts throwing out those side blade hits.
Gonna see the replay once again there. Great hook as well, and the OD banishes himself at the perfect timing and is forced to try to kill the CM. And here comes the big moment, the waveform to guarantee disable the blink. Really well done by Black, but that stun gives OG enough time to catch up.
Jarek's, again, locking down yet another core. This support Pudge has just been out of control, and it makes me wonder where did this hero go? You know, it was such the rage not so long ago, and then it just kind of fell off for favor of Monkey King and Earth Spirit and all these other 4 positions.
I think it was picked sometimes in the group stage, but it's not half the time it was. It just didn't look very good. It's definitely a sometimes pick from the support position. And maybe the excitement around Monkey King, that kind of stuff has fallen off, and OG knows, like, hey, we kind of got wrecked game 1. Maybe we need to focus on just really safe drafts that make a lot of sense. And in this game, I think the Pudge has been really solid, especially with the gank heroes that Faceless has been running. The Nyx Assassin was an early pick. His damage is a bit limited, and usually the way those burst heroes work is if you survive the burst, you're going to win the fight, and Pudge is great for that.
Ice, 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 once again. Put himself deep into the enemy jungle, kind of scouting things out, doesn't find anybody, so he'll farm a camp while OG take that tier 2 bottom. They Faceless know they can't really contest OG at this point. The team fight's just far too strong. So they're just looking for picks, but OG really isn't giving any of them to him. The only person who was really separated was No Tail, but you could see he's playing off of his towers almost the entire time and just letting his illusions do all the work.
Yeah, that's the way to play it. Only downside to that is it usually delays your Song of the Siren maxing out, but And he's completely set in his position right now. And another big item picked up. Anna's going to grab an Orchid. That's one of the best counters against Morphling in the game. Very effective against OD as well. He's got BKB queued up, but he's pretty much just starting it.
Scouting a couple of heroes here. OG spending some time farming together, farming their way through the jungle as they head up top, maybe to stop that tier 1 tower from going down. In the process, they're going to run into XY. That'll be a freebie. Beyond godlike already for Anna 25 minutes into the game.
That's actually insane. Any hero that he finds right now, I mean, if he finds Morphling by himself, there's a Lincoln to stop it. But any other hero, he's going to get a kill this game, I think. Maybe not Nyx. That one would be a little harder. And in the meantime, Nyx Assassin just spending some time hitting up neutrals. He's going to be looking for a Courier Snipe here. He actually might get this one.
Oh, no. Position yourself farther right. No. Ice. Like, damn it all.
Yep.
It just keeps on sneaking by him every time.
If he had been there like 4 seconds earlier, just to get to the high ground before the Courier was in vision, that would have been a snipe. But he's going to hopefully wait for it to come right back out. And I don't see any items on it instantly, so slightly wrong timing.
Manta, soon to be complete for No Tail. And I have to wonder, like, once you get that much split pushing power, Faceless, I mean, they still do have the late game, right? Like, the early game has gone terrible, but they still have OD and Morphling to be able to fall back
They're
on.
They're going to try to kill Anna here, or somebody else they're spotting. They're smoked up, but he didn't end up following No Tail. Maybe not feeling confident about that kill, but wasted smoke there for Faceless. That could be a little expensive as the game continues. When you're losing, ganks are the best way to get back in the game, and losing smokes for nothing is not the best trade. But at least OD's farming very well. He's ahead of Centaur. That's good.
I was about to say, well, is a relative term, right? Nuts. Fortunately, he picked up a haste rune, so will manage to slide on by that attempted gank.
I really like what Centaur is doing with his build this game. That's for making the right decisions. The Solar Crest Vanguard, he grabs the magic resistance perk, 10%. It's not a huge amount, but it's enough. And then he's going to go straight into a heart. He knows that his opponents have damage problems. Morphling is just going to buy Lincoln's, going to go E-Blade, but Centaur is just going to have so much stinking HP, I don't even think it matters. It's a counter against pure damage from Outworld Devour. It's a great solution against burst damage as well from Magic Nuke. So I think S4's build he's ahead of schedule, and he's building the perfect things.
Hey, third time's the charm for Ice. He finally does find that courier kill. The problem is, for me anyway, it's like you're using your 3 position to kill couriers. Right? It's not what you wanted to be doing with this Nyx Assassin, but because the first 20 minutes of the game went so poorly, it's what you've been forced to do.
And they're grouped pretty heavily right now, fearing a smoke right now, I believe. OD will show mid, hitting creeps, so maybe they'll move out again. And Ogre's still split pushing top. This is a little dangerous for him, but the benefit is that if he does end up getting killed here, it's only an Ogre. And it's pretty fast with Bloodlust Tranquil Boots.
Yeah, somebody's got to push out these lanes, right?
Yep.
The Morphling like even the Morphling doesn't feel super comfortable with it because he could be caught by the Blink Centaur stun, could be caught by the Glimmer Cape of the Disruptor. Fly just, walking in invis and managing to get the Static Storm Kinetic Field combination. So it's not like they can actually rely on the Morphling to push deep into the enemy side of things and threaten these tier 2s. So XY is a more disposable hero will try and accomplish the same thing.
They are going to clean up Roshan really rapidly, though. And that's in addition to the Solar Crest here, so dies right away. And in case OG didn't feel confident enough in team fights, it's going to be even easier for TA. He is still a little vulnerable. That's always a thing you got to worry about when playing this hero, but now with 2 respawns, it's going to be pretty safe, especially if he saves BKB until after the respawn.
It's got to be feeling so terrible for Faceless because they can't beat OG in split pushing. There's a Naga Siren, and they can't beat him in team fight right now. Like, as long as OG don't lose in the pickoff game, then they should just be able to build more and more of an advantage. They've already taken almost every single outer tower. All that's left is the top tier 2. And with this Aegis, I'm pretty sure they're going to try and at least poke at high ground and see how Faceless respond.
Yeah, this is definitely their moment here. Get the lanes pushed out. They might need 1 hero to guarantee top lane gets pressured. No Tail going to send his illusions across the map. That's one way to do it, but XY's been doing a pretty good job pushing that lane out. Jab's doing it in the meantime. Can they catch Black on the mid lane? They could Song for this, maybe? They're just going to
jump forward with Anna. Nice stun. A 3-man goes out from Ice, but he still managed to snag him with the ensnare. Jarex is lined up for a perfect hook. The Dismember allows Anna to be able to clean up that kill. a carry down for 40 seconds. What better time to go high ground and see if they could force a buyback?
And they still got level 3 Song of the Siren. The hook, ooh, that would have been huge. He's got Gem on Jax, so if he did grab that Nyx kill, that would have been one of the easier ways to clean up the mid lane.
Oh, jump forward here, going for nuts deep inside the base, but he is going to be stunned up by XY. Ana will turn his attention, I'm presuming, towards that tier 3.
He was hoping
And
for the
start
one
chipping
shot.
away at it.
If he got the Meld Strike, that's definitely a dead C. And they
Oh,
go in.
nice stun from S4. Managed to catch jabs, blows them up immediately. Good coordination between the two cores of OG. Ice pops a Shrine in order to stay alive against Ana. Now he turns his attention towards XY, but realizes with the buyback, he doesn't really need to stick around. Backs away, resets the whole entire fight for OG to start sieging the base once again.
Hitting the building, does get stunned. Mana Drain is pretty bad for him, but
He's not going to have any refraction to work off of, but the sleep comes out just in time. They save the Aegis, and that's a big-time win for OG. They still have plenty of time to work with this Aegis, so if they go, they back up to base, or they just Shrine, they can probably push high ground again in the next minute or two.
yeah, it's a really good choice by them to back up there. They did their best fishing attempts. They did get the OD kill and buyback. That's absolutely worth it. 3-6-0 now on Jabs, having a rough game, and it's just the typical problem with OD. He does do a lot of damage, but if you have to worry about all these disables, magic damage, you got to get BKB, and then you only have 12 armor. And against somebody that can lower 8 armor from the Meld and 7 from the Deso, you have this big target on your forehead. Please, stun me once so I don't BKB, and then hit me 2 times and I die.
So it looks like his solution is kind of the obvious one. Go for the Shivas. Increase in intelligence as well as armor, but there's got to be some other options, right? Where are the support items? Where are the helpful items that can save this OD? We've got a Solar Crest for the Ogre, but Nuts, he would be the other one to pick it up. He doesn't have anywhere close to that 4-staff.
Yeah, he's been having a tough game as well. He's been spending a lot of time in the jungle, but I'm sure he spent most of this on Observer Wards. And even using a Solar Crest to save allies defensively, it's very difficult to do it at the right time. You have to throw it down before the first attack even lands to make it really effective. And it's really, when they're initiating instantly, it's tough to react perfectly.
OG have come right back. Start throwing the illusions in one by one. I like this as a good way to be able to stop the potential initiation from the Nyx Assassin with that Blink Dagger. And gives Ana a lot more freedom to whack on that tier 3. So that's going to be tier 3 down. OG are not going to back up and hit Shrines. They still want to be able to work around with this Aegis. The melee racks down to half health and falling rapidly. Faceless are not going to fight this one. They're letting the Morphling push out the top lane, and honestly, I think that's the best choice. They couldn't actually fight that. I could not see a way they can actually win a team fight, a 5-on-5 against OG, even if it was inside their own base.
Yeah, maybe the best thing they could do is initiate stun both Pudge and the TA with the same disable, but they've got to kill the TA twice, not to mention the rest of the heroes. And Centaur was even holding his Solar Crest. He doesn't leave him a vulnerability, keeps his armor and his evasion up. They had a pipe active and ready to go for Pudge if needed, so they just had so many ways to cover each other. And Faceless is still having that same damage problem. It's almost all about the E-Blade Dagon. And against, or the E-Blade Adaptive Strike, and against a TA with Aegis, it's just not the most reliable damage.
Ice. Is he going to find a solo kill?
I don't know if he can kill him.
It's been so long since he's seen an opportunity to do Nyx Assassin things, but it's looking like the damage is lacking, and we do have a Glimmer Cape. He's going to Yule Scepter. Has another mana burn. Oh, gets him. Fly held onto that Glimmer Cape for so long.
He had to, because if he uses it instantly, Yule's is used on him, and it dispels it, which would guarantee the kill. So it was actually smart of him to hold that as long as he did, but unfortunately for him, does get killed. It was pretty much the only way that works. The Glimmer did give him enough magic resistance to not die in one burst. And a 30-second respawn time. Disruptor's alive already.
Disruptor is also, we saw him earlier, he actually killed the Morphling Replicant, right? Just like they had the Shadow Shaman last time, right? Yeah, so they grabbed the Naga Siren, they're like, oh sweet, we could push out the top lane with this Radiance Illusion. Nope. Just instantly gets deleted by Fly.
All right, No Tails picked up a Diffusal Blade as well, making his illusions actually pretty good at right-clicking. And obviously breaking any kind of Ghost Scepter. Nyx, did he always? No, he was on Yule's the whole time. I think it was the Morphling I'm thinking of with the Ghost Scepter. It's a great way to deal with Morphling. Draining his mana is also useful. There's a lot of really good uses for that item in this game. They'll remove Bloodlust. It's a great pickup by No Tail.
Yeah, great choice. Gives them a considerable peak at this mid-game point where OG are looking to be able to just close it out. Ooh, the hook almost snagging.
Came spinning in, but doesn't quite go far enough.
OG, now it just comes to the problem of like, okay, we just have to deal with this split push enough where we're finally able to go high ground. It looks like they finally did it.
Yep.
They corralled all those heroes out of the top lane, got the creep wave going, took that tier 2. And
there's illusions all over the map. Like, they're in their base. This is going to be the story of the game for the next 10 or so minutes, most likely. But with Aegis running out, I don't know if OG is going to want to chance this. They're already down 1 game. They do not want to throw this kind of a lead. It would be amazingly bad for them. But I don't know if Faceless has the best team fight. It's going to take a lot of very careful focus fire, chain stuns, and burst damage for them to win these fights.
OG gonna start out just poking at it. They're gonna push in both the mid lane as well as the top lane at the same time and see where they can find some connections onto that tier 3 or potentially even loosen up one of these heroes with the Naga Siren or find the hook. That's gonna be XY caught. He has no buyback, so it's now going to be Faceless left in a 4 versus 5. The jump in from Ice. What a 3-man stun. Jab's going to start laying in, and as soon as humanly possible, he wants to be able to rack up this intelligence and start bursting down some heroes, but he just doesn't have it. He instantly goes down. The Song of the Siren used beautifully by No Tail will now set up not just the kill on the OG who had that BKB out, as well as the follow-up on the Nyx Assassin. They take the 5th member of Faceless out and force the GG. Game 1, a stomp by Faceless. Game 2, OG stomp right back.
And it looked like the game could continue there, but the power Pudge shows again. All it takes is just one little hook in the right time to grab the one guy that doesn't have buyback, and the team fight just seems straightforward. And if things ever got bad, pop the Song. Instead, they use it to guarantee the kill. And once again, the BKB on the OD just did nothing. Oh, you pop BKB, we'll just sleep your whole team, use our heavy physical damage to kill you, and that lets us guarantee the next follow-up kill. It just, OG's draft was amazing. Their laning stage, the strategy that they used to abuse that matchup, OG looks just really good in this game, but can they do it game 3 as well?
Yeah, I mean, it was like strategy win game 1, would you say? Strategy win game 2? You think these are basically like drafting going back and forth?
I think the only difference is the draft was in some ways throwy by OG, I'd say, because the first one was so many greedy picks that they wanted. They wanted all of these strong things. They forced them into weird roles. Faceless played the draft they wanted to this game by all means. These are a lot of their comfort heroes, but OG completely outplayed them with their draft in game 2. So I think OG just has to react properly to what Faceless goes for if they don't change it up again, or if they do. And if they can do that, outdraft Faceless, it's going to be a really easy game for them.
Faceless side, we said that their draft was kind of similar to what they had in game number 1.
Yeah.
Do you think in this case, do they still make the sort of slight adjustments for game 3, or do you think we approach this in a very different light and go for an entirely different draft?
I think the crucial point was the safe off lane that can always sit there and push the lane. OG got to abuse that this game. Faceless didn't really coordinate they didn't have the heroes to combo with the Nyx. That was well enough to win the game.
All right, well, game 3, it seems like strategy wins on both sides of the table. Game 3 going to be very important draft, and I'm sure the panel has a lot to say about it.
Yes, indeed. Plenty to say about it after a second game. This time it goes to OG. 1-1 in terms of games, 1-1 in terms of stomps as well. Stomp in full effect in game 2, Ben. It completely swung the other way round.
Yeah, just everything went right for OG this game. What exactly went so right for them?
Well, I think that I really like the approach that they took this game. You know, I feel like they kind of recognized the approach that Faceless took in the last game, and they took the approach of sending this like aggro Charlie. They saw the Morphling come out, and they're like, okay, we're gonna put pressure onto this Morphling right away, not let the CM and the Ogre have the same type of situation that they did last time, where they were just able to move around. Right away, we see like here in the clip, and this is a bit later on, but it was just OG always constantly putting pressure on them, not letting them catch up at all. Morphling had, I think he had like 8 CS compared to like the 30 creeps of the Naga Siren at one point. He kept having to switch lanes. The Pudge was just kind of, Jarex and the Pudge was literally just following him around. I really like the way that they were the ones on the aggressive this time rather than the opposite.
Kurt, what do you make of it?
I think OG did a good job putting pressure on. We talked about before that a lot of teams have been picking these greedy, poor safe lane heroes like Slark, the Spectre. Morphling's one of those, and I think OG really showed how to deal with those heroes in this game. I mean, you know, I forgot how good they are at Naga too. And it's not just how they play Naga. They always pick this illusion hero early. We're like, oh, they could have picked it second phase, but what they did this game was really cool. Picked a Naga, all of Faceless' lineup is meant to counter this one hero, this one Naga. They overcommit, and then it's a perfect TA game for Ana, and he delivered on that TA.
Yeah, 16, 1 and 2, I believe, at the end of the game. Having a massive game for OG. And likewise, you already mentioned Jerax's Pudge. It was annoying to deal with for Faceless, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was super annoying. I think he had like the most game-winning moves in the game. He had that TP talk. He killed the Morphling. He was everywhere. He was hitting these nice hooks. We saw him. I don't know. Pudge hasn't been like that strong in this patch, I felt, but he made it look super imba.
Yeah, 3-3-18, which wouldn't suggest a particularly good game in terms of statistics, but it's much more about the movement, positioning, and the hooks.
He ruined Black's early game.
Yeah,
Black was
exactly
like half of top net worth for a pretty long time, just because of the one death early in the poor laning situation that he was set up for.
It's a good demonstration of how they can come together as a team. S4 again, not having the loudest of games, NoTam not having the loudest of games, but in the right places at the right time to support the players that are getting the kills.
Yeah, I mean, I love the adjustment that they made, honestly. I like the way that Kevin kind of put it, too. They were just like, oh, okay, we identify what went wrong the last game, and we're going to just alleviate the pressure off of Ana, off of Notel this game. And I really like how Kurt said as well that, you know, they drafted this Naga first, and it's like that kind of instills an idea into your enemy's head. It's like, oh, this Naga, we have to really prepare for this Naga Siren, Naga Siren, Naga Siren. And then they come out with the TA last pick, and it's like, oh man, how do we really do this when we kind of like overcompensated a bit dealing with this Naga Siren?
Do you feel like we often forget that they are a very adaptable team and they do adapt very quickly to different teams? Partly why they've been so successful in major tournaments?
Yeah, I think so. I think we sometimes overlook that, and I think we also overlooked how incredible they play around the Naga Siren, really. I mean, he didn't really have to do too much this game. It was kind of everybody else doing that, but I think it was just like the concept of it. It really instilled a weird idea into Faceless.
MVP being Ana in this particular case, but you probably could have had a good shout for Jerax here as well.
Yeah, he was involved in like 80% or more of their kills in that game too. I think he just made, like Ben said, he made Black's life miserable, but Ana overall, he started in like a 2v1 matchup lane, and he excelled incredibly.
Yeah, ended 17-1-5.
The team is incredibly good about playing around Ana, though. Like, they always allow him to just do so much damage in the team fights, and I think that's one of the best parts about OG. They always enable their mid laner to just carry.
Yeah, it's one of their strengths, isn't it, that they've had before, and they have Miracle on the team as well. Being able to do the same kind of thing.
You really see it when they play Alchemist mid, though. Like, the way they play Alchemist is just incredible compared to other teams. And a lot of people might not like watching it, but at the same time, it's something special with their Alchemist.
Yeah, it's definitely been very effective. We are tied up at 1-1 here in this particular series, our second series of the day. And of course, we are looking forward to our third draft. Players are now taking a break, a well-earned break after that second game, and they'll get themselves ready back in the arena very shortly. Until then, we've also got another cup going on, the Kiev Challenge Cup, a game of balance and team coordination. What could possibly go wrong when Sir Action Slacks is involved when it's OG versus Newbie?
Teamwork. Does it make a Dota team or does it break one? Today, we find out yet again. It is time for Kiev Cups. I brought two of the best teamwork teams in the whole team worky area here. We've got Team OG. Anna, hello. Hey. How's it going?
Good.
You're going to be throwing down. Do you have enough teamwork to defeat the Kiev Cups?
Yeah. You do.
But do you have enough teamwork to defeat the Kiev Cups before they do?
Yeah.
Now, this is a rare opportunity, what we like to call an Aussie throwdown. So I know the Australians, you guys like to talk some smack, so please talk a little bit of smack before we get going on this team building exercise. Anna, hit him up.
Do you dare talk smack? No, come on.
Come on.
You're my friend, dude.
Wow, great. All right, fantastic. Everyone, to your cups. Grab your strings. Here we go. Strings, take them. Go, go. Are you ready? 3,
Put this one. Yeah, just move it to
2, 1. Kiev Cups, go! Okay, looking good. Looking good. Building a nice foundation there on OG. A newbie, doing great. Try to get that 3 on.
I'll just do this.
I'll let that slide. I saw a thumb touch a cup. That's okay. Oh, Anna, take it easy, dude. That's a big stretch there. All right, S4, getting in a better position here. Nice triple. Oh, newbie's looking real good. The foundation is made.
I'll do it.
There you go. Teamwork. Oh, that's legal. That's fine.
That's fine.
That's fine. You're good. You better hurry up though. Oh, new B. Gentle. Oh,
Where in the league?
like a support carrying,
Oh, this is like.
a happy carry. So gentle. Here we
Little
go.
more that way.
In some trouble. Oh no, they're catching up here. I don't know what happened with cup number 3, but that has been heavily
Do we need
stacked.
to replace? No, wait. No, that's gonna be a problem.
No, don't. Okay, that's free.
It's a new kind of tower.
There is zero chance that's gonna work, but good luck, guys. You've got it.
I think this is a
They're
problem.
running out of cups.
I need to move this one.
Here we go, newbie, looking good.
Move this. Closer. No, this is a problem.
Oh.
2 cups.
Oh no. Oh, OG, oh no. Oh no, OG, what is happening over there? Newbie just what's all gentle?
别动，别动，哎，这咋搞？
We need to
哦 no!
You need to pull.
最后一个这好难弄。
There's some
先
issues.
放，先放稳，先放稳，调位置看能不能把它放稳。哎，哎呦，包了。
It's gonna be a problem here. Oh no.
That's a problem.
OG is running out of cups.
哎呦，
Almost all. Oh, I know, touching it up.
Go.
哎呦，他别包了，他别包。
There we go. Nice.
哎呦，
Doing some real
这样。
expert level stuff here on OG.
We need to relax.
This is some interstellar stuff you guys are attempting here. Separating all the cups. Okay.
We need to.
If I see a finger touch that cup, it's over.
You got it.
抓前面一点意思。
This is so hard. Okay. You got it.
Here we go.
I believe in you, man.
Nice.
把它弄起来。
OG.
把这个还没，把这个弄紧，对
Go.
先把这个弄紧。
Excellent. Okay, we're in good shape.
Take it easy.
Oh, that's good.
Oh,
We need to.
Newbie going for the kill here. One more counter flip, and we're good.
要不就这个吧，
Just remove it.
They've got a flip. Oh no! No!
Go lower.
The tower has fallen.
Okay.
Oh, the
This is
throw.
一个把这一个。
Here we go. OG finally looking good
哎，
again.
这条
That's4 getting in a
先他妈
position.
好个野。
Oh, we need to lift. Oh shit.
Violent shaking. Oh god.
哎呦，
Destroyed.
Okay, usually we do a best of 3. We are now changing this to a best of 1. Please, the first person to build a tower wins. This is all in now, guys. Here we go. Newbie, looking good.
Turn around.
Oh,
抓，把它抓出来。
oh,
Okay, we got it.
what is happening?
Okay.
Okay, here we
I'm
go.
doing.
The Jerax,
哎，把它
nice.
Do it like that.
He's a good flipper. There it is.
把它
Okay.
摆上去，摆上去，把它
play.
先让
On
不
top
让
of
锤
this.
对。
On top of this.
放一走，一起甩力。
Because it's one.
Okay. The double up,
Then we need
smart.
to.
先碰上去，这样碰上去，我
先 be the same length.
站住了，对，让站稳了，再放手，对，不然他
Oh no! Oh no! Newbie going in for the kill.
站稳，
This is it. OG has got to think of something quick.
站稳了我再拉。
They have all of their
in the
cups are
middle.
different
In the
heights.
middle, right?
It's not looking good.
好好。
Oh.
放稳，等一下，放稳，别。
Easy game.
All right.
Man，
It's up to you, gentlemen. Are you ready to be defeated, or will you go for a best of 3? Are you ready to go again?
I think it's best of 3.
Best of 3 it is. All right, 3, 2, 1. Kiev Cups, go. All right. Oh, instant new meta coming out from OG, stacking and it
抓一个吧。
failed a
我
little
就不用
bit.
管那个，不用管那个，对。
One at a time.
不用管那个。
Yeah, you have to use the turned over cup. They do have a problem. Newbie is slowed down. They're not slowed down at all. That was an instant flip.
Draw.
Oh Lord, this is gonna be over real quick. OG has got to hurry. They've already got 2. OG's got to pull something out right here. The final cup. Oh, can OG? Oh no! The throw. Gently. Oh, no touch. Gently, OG. With the quick victory, OG did it! Wow! Incredible. All right. Round 3. Everyone gets a side cup on this one. It's for experts only. You must use side cup. There you go. One of your cups will be tilted down. Impossible, some have said before.
I can just turn.
The true test of teamwork starts
turn?
now.
No,
Gentlemen?
I think you should get that one.
Are we ready?
Oh, we need to.
It's already landed.
3, 2, 1. Kiev Cups, go! Okay, nice instant split coming out from Newbie. They're working on the side cup. OG already has the side
Middle
cup.
one is hard.
Could this be the fabled double cup step coming out from OG? Do they have the balls to do it? Do they have the cup gusto? No? Oh, new B. New B so quick. Oh. Things are not looking good for OG. New B. But the instant win could be.
Okay.
New B with a new speed record, OG. I'm sorry. I thought things were good. Sir, please, gloat. You've done it. You've proved your teamwork is the strongest. Go ahead. Talk some smack. Different, guys? Easy game. Easy game. Oh, okay. Wow. That's the best we got. OG, you guys were looking so... Well, not great round 1, but round 2 was really good. And then I thought you had it on round 3. What happened to the special double cup stack that you were working on? Your secret meta. You never made it happen.
What happened? Didn't work out. It was on me, you know.
Well, true teamwork. Everybody taking responsibility. Don't worry though. It's just the Kiev Cup game. We still have the Kiev Major to get to, and we will get to that soon. So. Build yourself back up like that big tower of cups. You can do it. And we'll see you guys at the actual major. Well done.
Some small consolation for Newbie, winning in the Kiev Cup Challenge there against OG, who seemingly have to go 3 series in everything they do, including right now because we are headed towards our 3rd series. Still waiting for Faceless to get back to the booth, but once they do, we'll get into our 3rd draft. What do you make of the Cup Challenge? Should we enter a team?
I don't know.
You don't think our coordination would be too good? Or?
I don't have high hopes.
I don't know.
Why did OG lose that, by the way?
I don't know. I mean, I really think, they only had 3 people. They didn't have any illusions. They didn't have their extra members to actually really enable them more. So I think that's really what they were lacking.
They needed a few more illusion cups?
Yeah, if they had like a couple, maybe like a Naga cup coming in there, definitely could have helped out a bit.
No Radiance carries.
No Radiance carries either, yeah.
As you can see, we're live from the Palace of Ukraine, waiting for our 2 teams to come back. And as we do that, why don't we check in with our social media questions once more? You've been very kind enough to put an absolute ton of questions in there today. It's stickied on the Reddit page. Thank you very much to the moderators over there. Our next question is, do you think Faceless's versatility might be their downfall? Example, DK from 2014.
Isn't it the opposite?
Yeah, I don't
so as well.
think Faceless is the most versatile team, actually.
You would have put Random as the most versatile, wouldn't you? Certainly in terms of hero picks.
Random definitely plays everything.
Yeah.
They have been picking a lot of different heroes, though, for Faceless, at least here.
Yeah.
Like, they picked, I don't know.
It's not the most, but it's by far and away
Yeah.
not the least either. So.
Yeah, they've picked, because it's not like they've, have, exact substitutes for heroes. They have, I've seen a couple, different things, like the Tiny when they busted that out, twice now, too. With Jabs playing it and Black playing it. So they did, I think they showed a little bit more versatility than they used to. But
do you think they have more versatility in the way that they play, their play style now, than they used to? They were very predictable before, weren't they? Kind of knew what you were going to get.
I think I think it's similar. I think they've just concreted the small mishaps that they have had, because they always I think the big thing for them is they've always just been okay, lane dominators, and then it's in the mid game where it really starts to become more difficult for them. So I think they have definitely worked on that. I think Winter's definitely. I think the signs are showing that Winter has helped this team already. So.
Okay. Let's take one more question.